This is Coffee with Kerry. Each week we meet amazing people who are going to be challenged to step from behind their profession for a game show and interview whilst having lots of fun. If you're looking to inject more fun into your world, join us here every week. It's time to get on with the show. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Kerry, and today I am super excited. We have an amazing guest, which is Fireball Deena. She has joined us today for lots of fun. We're going to step through all the rounds. For those that have seen the show before, you know how it goes, and we change it up every single episode. So strap in, hope you're sitting down, hang on, because it's going to get pretty real today. So welcome to the show, Fireball Deena.
Kerry, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Me too. I can't wait. Now, the first thing is, are you ready?
Was that a whip?
That was a whip.
Did you steal my whip?
I might have. I apologise. I might have snuck in there and grabbed that.
Want me to get the handcuffs?
We might skip them for now, but hang on to that idea because you never know what's going to happen on Coffee with Kerry. So
I would have dressed differently if I'd known.
So, Deena, are you ready for the first round?
I'm a little bit scared and a lot excited. So, yes, I'm ready.
Excellent. So the first round is today the mug shot. Do you have a mug with you?
Oh, I thought you meant a mug shot, like... I haven't been arrested yet in this country, but give it time.
Well, you mentioned the handcuffs, so yep, maybe that's part of the theme of today. But yes, let's talk about our mugs. Have you got your mug?
Well, appropriately, this is my mug.
Oh, now that says whoever smiles first wins. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic.
Not as big as my face. It's yellow with red polka dots for Fireball.
Awesome.
I can barely get my hand through it, but I saw it and I loved it. Whoever smiles first wins.
That's fantastic.
And that's the only kind of competition that I want to see. I am actually not a fan of competitive sports in general because I don't know, like, why can't we all just get along and collaborate? Like, I'm a theater baby, theater major, Broadway baby. It's all cast and crew and collaboration. But if we're going to have a contest, whoever smiles first wins.
Love it. Love it. Fantastic. Good choice. Now, I have a mug for today's episode, and I will show you my mug. I hope you can see this.
Oh, Cookie Monster. Exhale negativity. Inhale cookies.
Correct.
Were we supposed to do voices?
You can do any voice you like. And
cookies.
I just happen to have inside some little cookies as well in my mug today. This is something different. These are, and I wondered if you actually know what this is. If I hold it up a little bit
it looks
closer.
like oh my God, it's a clock. It's 10 o'clock. Yep. It looks like butter cookies with a white frosting icing.
Yeah. So we have these cookies here in Australia. They're called TikToks. So they make me laugh because of TikTok. So I could do something with these, honestly, and I really should.
You could put the logo on it. You could draw the logo on it.
Oh, that's
because you have the white background, so just do black on white or white on black. I mean, and it's a hello. Yeah, and make a TikTok video with TikToks. Hashtag TikTok. Now you spell them TICTOC in Australia?
Yes.
Even better, because then you mess with people's minds when you put that hashtag.
Absolutely.
And then hashtag spelling bee. Because there's so much fun to do with that.
Oh my God. Why have I not done this?
Sponsorship.
Yes.
Call the company first.
I could. Oh, you're on it. So
business mind, business.
It's
not just about funny voices.
No, but it is about having fun as well.
Yes.
So can we do a cheers to the camera with our mugs for this episode? Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. Wonderful. All right, Deena.
It really is as big as my face. This is a little bit scary. Can you drink your face in coffee?
Have you seen the first episode with this monster behind me here? It It's as big as my head. It is ridiculously. It was on my shoulder. It's crazy, crazy huge, and it's got the global map on it. So that's a good one as well. But I love yours. I love yours. We are going to move into the next round. The next round is, you'll be excited, 5 fun facts about Fireball Deena. Are you ready?
Do I have to know them or do you guess?
You might have noticed that there's a numbers board behind me.
Oh, dear God.
There's numbers 1 to 20. Your first challenge here is to choose 5 numbers between 1 and 20.
Oh, my God. You did research for this show, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Kerry, I love your game show. I absolutely love your game show. I want to come. Now I'm like, now all of a sudden I'm competitive. I want to win. I want to be invited back for the second round. Oh, man, there's the orange and there's the yellow. And I guess 12.
12?
Oh, am I supposed to pick a number, right?
Yes.
Okay, 12.
And 4 more.
Oh, pick them all at the same time. 1, please. 10. Which colors did I pick? 16. Very random.
Yep.
And what day is it today? It's we'll go with 7 for July. My birthday month.
Ah. Sneaky. When was your birthday in July?
July 24th. I am a Leo.
It's coming up.
I am very much a Leo. Roar. We're like, overly dramatic and Queen of the Jungle.
Bringing all the stuff. Love it.
The curly mane, golden red.
All right, Deena, we are going to step into the first question, which is question number 12. Now, caveat before we get into this, you picked these numbers, so it's all on you. If they're just not the right questions or anything, it's your fault. It's not mine. I don't take any responsibility for what happens next. So question number 12 is a day at the beach, a day of hiking, or a day at the snow? What is your preference?
Oh, beach.
Beach?
Absolutely beach. Yeah, I'm
100%.
a summer baby. Hot sun. Yeah. Snow, absolutely not. Usually where I grew up in Canada, the snow is taller than me, and it's not fun. I mean, hiking, it's like I like the woods, but I feel like the beach you can have a big party on the beach.
You can.
And I'm a party girl. I like parties.
I got a follow-up question to that. How do you feel about the sand? I think sand can be controversial. Lover, hater.
I'm not sure where the controversy comes from, but I like sand.
Oh, good.
Sand is good. Glass, sand, for a facial or a scrub or a sand castle. I don't know what sand did wrong that it's such a contra. I haven't seen it trending on Twitter recently. Like, oh my God, did you hear about the sand? No, what happened? What did it do? The sand, like, is it dangerous now? I know there's so many other things that are dangerous for us these days, but sand, it never did anything wrong. It's like sand castles and being buried in the sand and sand crabs.
Beautiful. Oh, buried in the sand. Oh, it's been so many years. That's fantastic. That's a lot of fun. All right, we're moving into the next question that you chose. Question number 1. Your favourite jingle from a commercial. Do you have a favourite jingle?
I don't actually watch a lot of commercials.
Mm-hmm. Anything from your younger years that might still be in the grey cells back there somewhere in the archives?
Oh my gosh. There was something about I'm Just a Bill sitting here on Capitol Hill. It was for the American shows, though. And I grew up in Canada, watched the American shows because I always knew I wanted to move to the States. And it was this cute little animated thing, but I wouldn't say that was one of the best commercials. Ooh. Oh, there was the one to the tune of I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never ever let you forget you're a man, 'cause I'm a woman. Oh, jolly. It's a perfume from like the 70s or 80s, and I probably did not do the tune justice. I apologize. Singing is not one of my superpowers, but it was very like, I can bring home the bacon. It's so sexist. It was absolutely sexist, but also quite empowering because it's the woman who does it all. She's the head of the corporate world, and then she comes home and cooks dinner for her man and smells beautiful with this enjoli.
Love it. Love it. Fantastic.
Pulled that out of the past.
You did. You did. We are going to move on to the next question, which is question number 10. Who would you most like to meet?
Oh, that's it? There's no qualifier? Anybody at all to meet?
Anyone.
Can I say the hundreds of people I met this year online and haven't met in real life yet? I would like to meet them all.
You normally could give that answer, but I want one person. I want you to tell me one person that you would so want to meet. And
you.
I will.
You.
Oh, that's
no, I
too
mean
sweet.
it. I want to come to Australia and hang out with you and help you produce this TV show. But really, Kerry, we scheduled a 15-minute getting to know you call after we were in one podcasting room together and then a quick Instagram message. And I was like, yeah, let's get to know each other. 15-minute quickie. Yep. It was like a Thursday night. That little 15-minute call lasted 2.5 hours. So, Kerry, I want to meet you. Get me my plane.
Oh, that's it. Private jet, please. Hail. Come hither. Yes.
Come hither. Ooh, come hither.
I love it. All right. Well, I don't consider myself someone that anyone would want to meet such as that. I was more thinking, celebrity or someone, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, what about I want to meet the director of my TV show. I don't know who that person is. I want to meet them because they're going to direct my show.
Lovely. Oh, my God.
Aspirational.
Yes, that's it. If we don't think it, we can't see it. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So
I want to meet the person who's going to direct my show.
That's great. Good answer. All right, question number 16 that you have selected. Oh, this one's a good one. If you had a superpower, what would it be? And you've already got many, by the way, but if you had a superpower, what would it be? And
I'd have to say the power to fly. As a kid, I always wanted to fly. I was obsessed with magic and witchcraft and imagination. And I used to eat chicken wings because I thought that would make me fly. And then I jumped off the bed. This is a true story. At 5 or 6 years old, I jumped off my bed and started flapping my arms. And of course, fell straight to the floor and smashed my head on a wooden desk that was in my room, knocked myself out cold. My brother goes running into our parents' room. He's like, Mommy, Daddy, Deena jumped off the bed and knocked her head and she's lying on the floor. But it's okay. She's not making any noise or crying at all.
Oh my God.
And I woke up and I still I remember what you see in the cartoons, the stars and the birds flying around your head. So yeah, I want to fly.
Oh my God. That's sensational. What a great story. And the fact that you were being so quiet, that was perfect. Okay, well, this is a good segue into the next question, which is question number 7. Your biggest fear as a child. Clearly not jumping off the bed with the chicken wings trying to fly.
I mean, spiders was definitely something. I was always scared of spiders. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to get serious for a moment, I can. I know it's a hard one, but I was scared of rejection, of not having friends, of being alone, of being completely excluded and picked on. So I was scared of being rejected and alone, which sadly still has followed me to this day. Just not as much.
And I've got to say, Deena, that I couldn't picture you being rejected in life ever. Ever. I know your personality and I know how awesome you are and how much you show up and be yourself, which I think is just brilliant, by the way. So the idea of you being rejected by anybody, to them, absolutely.
Thank you. But as a kid, you know what? That was pretty much the big one. Yeah. And I wonder if it was the same for I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people, but maybe not the number one. Mm-hmm. I think it depends on your home life and your circumstances and, and I was picked on and teased a lot. So, yeah.
Oh, that makes me sad.
And then spiders. Still scared of spiders.
Yep.
I'm that's just a constant.
Oh, yep. All right.
It's okay.
It is. Better world today. Hopefully less spiders and everybody accepts Fireball Deena because she is amazing. Amazing. All right. Let's move into the next round. the next round is, I've got a tricky one for you, Deena. We have, but hang on, before I move into the next round, I will have to make a mention that I want to give a shout out today on the episode to a previous guest, Late Bloomer Living Podcast with Yvonne Marchese. Now, Yvonne was the star of episode 5, and her awesome podcast can be found on all the great channels. So I encourage everyone to check out Late Bloomer Living Podcast. It's a really good show. So I had to make a mention of that.
Can I just say I was on Yvonne's podcast?
Yes.
It just aired last week.
Yes.
So by the time, but it's a recent one. Whenever this airs, it was a recent one. And I think the title she came up was Embrace the Awkwardness.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and Talk to Strangers. Oh, Yvonne, Late Bloomer Living, we had so much fun. She is amazing. And we also met through Clubhouse, scheduled a 15-minute call that lasted an hour and a half. But that was only because it was in the middle of the day and we both actually had other meetings, whereas you and I did it at a certain time period where we could keep going.
Correct. And I'm sensing a bit of a theme here on these 15-minute calls that you have, Deena.
Time management skills. It's not time management. It's called time blindness, apparently, or being an extrovert. You know what I call it? It's called being an extrovert. I really, truly enjoy talking to really wonderful people like you and Yvonne and our friends on Clubhouse and Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think that's a great way to be. Don't change that. That is part of the awesome sauce that you've got going on. So 100%. But we will move into the next round, and I will press the button again.
You have the best sound effects. Can I just say your sound effects are amazing?
Thank you. I enjoy them. So the next round this one's a little bit more tricky for you. It is Survivor Challenge. Survivor Challenge. So the challenge to you, Deena, is you need to choose 3 celebrities to take with you on a deserted island. You will be stranded, there are no supplies, and you will be there forever. So you need to pick 3 celebrities to take with you. And I'll also add that you can name them by their character, by their official name, or it could be a fictional character from, a movie or something. You pick the 3 people, celebrities, characters, however you want to put it, that are going to be on this deserted island with you to survive forever.
Okay, well, I need a really hunky man. I need a hunky man.
Of course.
Someone who can...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Would you like some thinking music? Because you need to name these people. So it's not just about what they can do. I need physical names here. We need to...
Oh, man. I don't know.
We need to create this because we want you to survive, obviously. So would you like some thinking music to ponder your answers of your 3 people?
I feel like the answer should be yes, please. May I have some thinking music? I feel like that's the one right answer I know is right.
Correct. Let me play the thinking music.
Sorry, I had to do the thinking pose to go with the music.
Love it.
To be very dramatic. Okay, so I want somebody I can dance with. And it's really hard to choose between Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly. Classics. Yeah, I was and still just absolutely love old Hollywood movies. Gene Kelly's a little more physical, and he played a pirate in The Pirate.
There you go.
But, Fred Astaire, it's every dinner party, ballroom, restaurant, New Year's Eve. Oh, God, this is a selection. Wow. Okay. We need a chef. We need someone who knows how to cook and make wine.
Okay.
Who knows how to make wine and coffee and cook? What chef would there be?
Is that one person?
No, I feel like there'd be... Okay, so somebody who... the obvious choice would be Tom Hanks from Survivor, but I don't know.
Now, I have to tell you straight up, Tom Hanks is engaged. He is completely unavailable. He has been on that many deserted islands on
I would
Survivor
imagine. Yeah,
Coffee
it's
with
a little
Kerry.
too obvious.
He is
What
completely.
was the one? It's interesting. Like, I don't get obsessed with celebrities just because they're famous. I appreciate talent.
Yeah.
So, where somebody might be like, ooh, George Clooney, I'd be like, no, Amal, because she'd be a great conversationalist. I would go with Amal Clooney because you could talk about human rights and, maybe your husband's there like doing the dishes or cooking us dinner, but I want someone I can have really interesting, meaningful conversations with. Although if you're on a deserted island and you're never going to leave, the rest of the world is kind of moot point. So maybe I'd rather have somebody funny. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Ooh.
She's a fictitious character. She's hilarious. I feel like we're sisters from another mister in a different time period, and she's a fictitious character, where as far as I know, I'm still real. Yep. Although that may be up for debate. People are like, are you real? Is that really you? I'm like, yeah, sadly. This is all me. Nobody wrote this script. It's just coming straight out of my head onto the screen. Yeah, I think the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, because we do share a similar sense of humor, and she rolls with the punches, and she's got great clothes.
Oh.
And a manager, but I feel like we wouldn't need her manager if we're on a deserted island. So, okay, I've got Gene Kelly. I'm going to go Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly, yep.
Gene Kelly, and he played the pirate, Makoko, in the movie with Judy Garland. And, oh my God, like his body, the shape he was in and the cut off. Like he's got the wardrobe for the deserted island. We'll go with the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, although it should probably be whoever wrote her, but we're going to go with her as a character. Yes. And then I need a third person? Or am I the third person?
No, another person. Four people in total.
I guess we need someone to do the work around the house, like someone who cooks and makes wine and coffee. And
it's tough. It's really tough.
I think we need someone who can build a damn boat or get us out, like someone who can hotwire a palm tree to send a radio signal to land. That's who I want. Whoever that person is that can hotwire a palm tree to send a radio signal to land to rescue us.
Okay, so deep dive into
sorry, that's as good as I can get.
That's okay, that's okay. So who is this person, Deena? Who is this celebrity?
Oh, MacGyver? That's kind of old.
MacGyver's good. He's,
I don't even remember who the actor is anymore. I mean, the character, and I wonder, and I don't know, would he really be technologically savvy? Like, he did a lot with chewing gum and paper clips, but does he even know how to use an iPhone?
But you're on a deserted island. You won't have power to charge an iPhone. So
M? From James Bond. Doesn't M have all the cool gadgets?
Yes.
A pen that turns into an airplane. I want M. She or he, well, they're non-binary. You know what? Gender non-binary. M, it's an initial with all the cool gadgets and the tools and whatever outfit M shows up on this island with, and the suitcase, it's going to have all the gadgets that will either make wine, coffee, food, and get us off the island and hotwire the palm trees.
Perfect.
To get us a signal so we can have YouTube and watch this show.
Perfect.
How meta is that?
Oh, my God. Love it. Love it. Now, the only question I've got from this, Gene Kelly, appreciate 100%, and I get the pirate side of things, but what is his purpose? Is he the
to dance with? I want to dance with him. I want to dance with him and act and choreograph. Yep. Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, dance is more than entertainment. Dance is just such a part of my life. I started dancing when I was a little girl, and I always loved it. Like, it's therapeutic and it's an expression of art. And then comedy as well. You have the physical and the intellectual, and then on a practical level, we've got M to do. Maybe he or she will build me tap shoes.
And you know what? I'm starting to feel like you might survive. I think you've almost. I think you're pretty close to nailing this. So well done, congratulations. I think you've passed this challenge with flying colours. But
I may have broken all the rules, but phew, we survived.
Hang on a second. Hang on, just a second. I'm I'm getting. Oh, hang on, one moment. I think we've got something just coming in. Late breaking moos. 1 second. Oh, we've just had this come in, and in from an unknown source. The unknown source has reported to me, it says here, Deena, that you might be good at making up song parodies. Is that correct?
Kind of, sort of, yes.
Kind of, sort of, yes?
Kind of, sort of, yes. I did write a musical at a business retreat about the people at the retreat.
Yeah.
In like one night, and then held an emergency midnight rehearsal and got everyone involved with it. So yeah, I like writing song parodies.
Oh, and I think
breaking
moos. Yes. Apologies for that. That was thought of at midnight.
It was adorable. It was absolutely adorable. I'm just like, where's my ice cream? Where's my Ben and Jerry's ice cream?
That's what's missing. Oh my God. Oh.
Do you have Ben and Jerry's in Australia?
We do. They're tiny little tubs, really expensive, tiny little tubs. Not much bigger than this mug, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like they're quite small, but
they're small here too.
I believe that they come in a range of flavors that's quite
super
amazing.
Creative. Yeah, the naming conventions are brilliant.
Oh yeah, of course. But I want to head back to your song parodies for a moment, because I believe that these come from many different places. So they come from perhaps, conferences that you've been to. I believe it could even involve everyday life kind of situations and people that you meet. Can you give us a demo? Is there a demo?
Oh, I'd have to find it, to be honest. I'd have to find it in my. I didn't know I was supposed to have it ready to recite.
No.
But the one I can give you a little bit about it. So the one at the business retreat that I was on, we did it to the tune of Copacabana. Mm-hmm. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl, and that way also I did one verse about each person. I can't. I'm like blanking for a minute. Like,
so this is a combination of the.
It took the music. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl, but I rewrote the whole thing to her name was. She was a biz coach.
Oh, wow.
Sort of was something like bouncing babies on one knee, writing lead magnets. I'm not remembering it, but that was kind of the way it went. Something your business. Something with funnels, like it all rhymed. I mean, it really came to me. And then there was another one, and then I wrote one, on the good ship Lollipop, but it was the gentleman's name. It rhymed with that, so I wrote that about him.
Super creative.
I just, off the top of my head, and I don't want to with my bad name. I chipped off all my nails. Don't want to name names, but I was thinking about doing one with RTP.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's when I'm in person with people, it's a lot easier. So I remember when I went to Ireland with the Irish Dance School, and I wrote something about all of us. And I remember the musician who I was dating at the time was so impressed. And I was a little like, why was he so impressed? Like, did he not think I was smart? There was some little twinge to that, but it just comes naturally. And I feel like I should write something about Clubhouse. Maybe we have to figure out what's the right song. And so Chris Vaglio, Rocket.
Yeah.
He's got the rock and roll and the guitar as part of his brand, and we've got the morning spotlight with Mike. And I feel like maybe there's a way to integrate all of those. Yeah. And of course yours, Biz Nation and Coffee with Kerry, but what's the song? Once I get the tune, and it's usually something easy.
Yep.
I did that once for the holidays. I wrote so 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is another one. And I was working at an architecture firm, and I rewrote the whole thing about the project that we were doing. And it was a gingerbread house. And the project page, instead of saying, we used the cookies for this and we used the sprinkles to decorate with that. And I just transformed the whole "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" into like "'Twas the Night Before Contest." Yep. I think that might have been it. And then my boss also, he's like, "Who did this?" I'm like, "Me." He's like, "Really?" Also, my boss, because I wasn't an architect, I was just not given the respect that I deserved.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I think this could be the next collaboration from Clubhouse, is helping you get the Clubhouse mix track down tap. We could do, help you choose the song. We could get all of our wonderful friends together.
And we can write it together also, because that's the thing, is like I started writing it myself, and the woman next to me, she's like, what was that noise going on in your room? And I was like, oops. Now, normally if I'm in a convention center or a conference and there's noise from my room, it's like, don't ask, don't tell. But in this case... conferences are for mixing business with pleasure.
Love it.
But I'm a single girl. I can do what I want. But in this case, it was this tiny little, in the middle of nowhere. There's no one else but us. She's like, what was all that giggling? And I was like, I started writing a song, which was not the answer she was expecting, I'm sure.
I bet.
I was like, there was no alcohol there. I don't do drugs. I don't need to. I'm pretty hyper as it is. Apparently, I have the exact same personality, stone cold sober, as I do drunk. So, like, what's the difference? A few calories, that's the difference. Just may we say, it is a Friday night while we're recording this. I know it's Coffee with Kerry, but it's Friday night here. And I think for all of our listeners and viewers, this is the global way things are done. Right?
Correct.
You're in Australia. I'm in Canada.
Correct.
It's
and
9:44 at night somewhere.
It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. And I also want to add, Deena, that I welcome my guests to have any beverage that they want. It is Coffee with Kerry, but that's just the name of the show. It does not have to have coffee on the show. And I don't have coffee in my cup. I've got cookies today. So, yeah, I'm breaking all the rules.
Well, cookies. I think cookies in your cup. That was like the Folgers ad.
Yeah.
With Folgers in your cup. TikToks in your cup.
TikToks
in your mug. TikToks in your mug.
That's right.
Because you called it a mug shot.
I did.
So yeah, we need to find a song that is relatively easy to write lyrics to, right?
Yep,
because
for sure.
It can't have like some really crazy odd rhyme scheme. You want something that's fairly simple, and then we start plugging in the personalities and the podcast names, and
I see how this happens now. I see
we're
exactly.
creating a musical. We're creating RTP the musical.
Love it. Oh my God. Deena, we're going to move into the next round. Oh dear. That is the wrong button. Oh my God. I do it on every single show. Let me try that again.
I love it.
Next round.
It's so much fun. So much fun.
Now, I have, sometimes I have an Aussie word of the week, but today I have an Aussie food product. And I did a bit of research on this one because I don't believe you have this in Canada, but you might have something similar. So I'm going to hold it up. Can you see that?
I can. Wheatpicks.
Wheatpicks.
Sanatorium.
Yep.
Okay, well, sanatorium or sanitarium has certain meanings. Wheatpicks, it makes me think like Chex, like Wheaties, or it's a breakfast cereal, right?
It is a breakfast cereal, and I'm just looking for the real picture that doesn't happen to be on this tiny little box. So
they spell wheat wrong. I mean, I don't know if that's how you spell wheat in Australia, but if it is
spelled
it's like corn Chex, or
I will grab one.
They look yummy. They make me think of Life cereal. That's what they look a little bit like. Are they like a mesh? Not a mesh. What do you call it? A weave. They're crackers? Wheatpicks. Is that
exactly.
Wheatpicks.
Yep. Wheatpicks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do they taste like cardboard too, or do they just look like cardboard?
Yeah, there's a few different things we need to touch on with this product. Now, yours, I believe, are a little bit fancier. They've got rounded corners. Ours are very rectangle kind of brick, kind of like. They're kind of, yours look more exciting.
That does not look appetizing at all.
It's actually not. But let me just say, we need to unpack the Wheatpicks because, and I have literally unpacked the Wheatpicks.
I feel like it's a therapy session for breakfast cereal.
Very
can you imagine
much.
having, like, hello, breakfast here, like, cornflakes, what's your issue? I'm so generic. Nobody, like, I just get ignored. I'm not special. I'm not the flavor of the week or the month or the century. I'm just cornflakes. People use me in, like, pan, and I'm like, then there's, like, the sugary ones. They're dangerous, We're like the life of the party cereal. We're fun, but you don't want your kids to touch us,
Oh my God.
Sorry.
No, it's fantastic. I love it. I love it.
You said to have fun.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it so much, honestly. Like, I think you could do all the cereals. You could.
Really good. I almost took over Mike's show. I feel like, oh, Kerry, this is such a fun show. I'm going to do this again next week. We have a new segment. Deena talks to breakfast cereals. Who knows what will happen?
Hey, and we have another person in the community. I won't go into the details, but let me connect you with another person in the community that has back of the cereal box. So,
John and I already met. He's my new best friend.
Brilliant.
Oh my God, we had the best phone call. It didn't last 2 hours because it only lasted half an hour, but the things we have in common, and we met in the room. No, we met in a room Chris and I were doing. It was What Works for You. It was like, John's like, I love you. I'm like, I love you too, John. Like, he's married, but we have so much in common.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're right. Back of the cereal box. I think I'm going to have to do a bit on his show then about.
Absolutely. Oh my God. That would be epic. Now, I am going to go back to the Wheatpicks for a moment because I'm curious of how our version of Wheatpicks becomes our breakfast versus maybe what you guys do with your Wheatpicks because, very close.
And is Wheatpicks American or Canadian? I
think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of both because you guys are like so close. So it is a little bit of both. But let me explain what we do with Wheatpicks because they look pretty ordinary. They do not look inviting whatsoever. So this little guy, I'll just grab him out again for those that are watching. And apologies to those that are listening that you don't have a visual, but head over to YouTube because it's all on there. So this little guy looks very, very ordinary. But there's a method to making this sensational. So this guy goes into the bottom of a bowl and what you do is you boil the kettle and you just put enough hot water over him or a few of them in the bowl just to make them soggy, right?
You're boiling your breakfast cereal with water?
Kind of. You boil the kettle, you put them in the bowl and then you pour the hot water over it because then it makes it soft. Because right now this is dry. If you actually ate this, you would like practically choke.
But then
That's
it's
how
just
dry
going to
it
taste
is.
like soggy cardboard. Now it looks like dry cardboard, then it's going to taste like soggy cardboard.
Correct, but this is what I learnt. And when I say when I learnt, I'm a little bit late to the party sometimes. So I used to you'd put the hot water to make them soft. Then you'd add milk because you're supposed to have milk with your breakfast cereal. That's normal.
Yeah, because it gives the calcium and like the nutritional value if you're having the sugary stuff that we grew up on. That's so much fun.
Correct. But then what you would do, because they'd still taste pretty ordinary, is you would sprinkle sugar on top. Or some people put the sugar on, then they put the hot water to melt into the thing and the milk and all that kind of stuff.
I was going to say caramel sauce, like maple syrup, caramel sauce, raisins, chocolate chips, bananas, blueberries.
Now you're getting it, exactly. But I did not realise that how much better it was by actually drizzling honey on top of it. The honey replaces the sugar and gives it this awesome flavour. So that's like method number one of Wheatpicks is to get the hot water, the milk and the honey and you're good to go.
It's a lot of work for breakfast. Like if I'm going to have to do that much work, I might as well make eggs or pancakes, or go out.
This is true.
Breakfast cereal is normally the kind of thing for me, at least like, just bowl, milk, done. Or like not even the milk, like just eat it straight. If it's a good cereal.
High five.
But that sounds like cooking. If I'm going to go to that much effort, I want something that tastes good to come out of it.
Well, the interesting thing and the fascinating thing to me is that then I discovered that people actually eat them like with jam spread on top. Like this dry biscuit horrible thing with some jam on top, or it was like, I'm not really sure about that. But then on this box, they actually disclose a little bit of an option of putting it in a glass.
It's a parfait. It's a fruit parfait.
Yeah, with yogurt and fruit, exactly what you were saying, getting the fruit in there.
Because it'll soften it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be like the base of like a pie crust or something like that. But does it actually taste like cardboard, or does it have any flavor to it? Or is it just dry?
It's like if I just bite into this right now, it is dry, bland, weedy,
dry as toast
stuff. It's just you can flavour it up. You can flavour it up. But I just thought that was something that I had to bring to today's party, because breakfast, cereal, food. I love food. Love food. I'm not adventurous with food, but what I have found and what I do like, I love a lot. And Wheatpicks, I don't have it very often because it's just, I don't know, needs a little bit more.
It takes a lot of work.
It is. I love that point. No, you're right. So,
okay. So, breakfast cereal, Wheatpicks, sandwiches, jam, honey, maple syrup. I mean, I think you can do a lot with a good breakfast cereal. Like, I like healthy breakfast cereals that have the flax and the corn and the oats and the nuts, and like just load them up. But then there's got to be sugar. I'm not a foodie. I know that's controversial, especially for New Yorkers. Like, everyone's a foodie. I just, because I don't really cook. At least I don't like to cook alone. I think it's fun with a group of people, and I can prepare and I can cut and chop and clean and all that. But you don't really want me handling the stove or the oven without adult supervision. All I'm going to say is the name Fireball has a double meaning. Yes,
okay.
I have set things on fire, but not intentionally.
No,
I mean, maybe it was just to meet cute firemen. I don't know. Maybe not. But where was I? Oh, yes, food. But dessert is my weakness. I love dessert.
Oh yeah,
I would eat dessert all day instead of, like, I would skip meals for dessert, no problem.
And what's your all-time favorite dessert?
Chocolate. Anything chocolate. Yeah. Yep. Chocolate fudge, chocolate brownies, rich, real chocolate liqueur. So the really good chocolate liqueurs. Yeah, and milk chocolate.
Yum. Oh, wow.
Zen chocolate. Get a chocolate sponsor for our show.
Wait.
Get a chocolate
coffee
sponsor.
With Kerry. Coffee, chocolate with Kerry. Chocolate coffee with Kerry. Kerry, chocolate coffee.
Chocolate, coffee, and Kerry.
Chocolate, coffee, and Kerry. There you go. That's it.
Coffee and chocolates with Kerry?
Yes, all of it.
Chocolates and coffee with Kerry.
I love chocolate. Like, I love chocolate. Oh my God. Chocolate is it's a weakness. It's a really, like, as soon as
it's a superpower. It's not a weakness, it's a superpower.
It is just huge. Like, you just kind of, middle of the afternoon or even sometimes middle of the morning. I used to actually go to work on a Mars bar. I don't know if you know what a Mars bar is.
Oh my God, I love Mars bars. Yeah, they're fluffy. Yep. They're they're fluffy. They're not like heavy duty chocolate, but they're good. Absolutely. Yeah. Because also I think we know the British chocolates. I grew up with a lot of those. I don't know if Mars is American, I think. M&M Mars Corporation. I know there's a big Mars. So. Yeah. But
yep.
Like anything Cadbury is British, right? There's certain chocolate bars or candy bars we grew up with in Canada that you didn't normally get in the States until more recently. Then you could get anything online. And they would have these basically online stores set up intentionally, purposely to be able to ship back and forth across the border at a relatively affordable price. That. Whereas it used to be you'd have to, quote unquote, smuggle them across the border, which is not something I should ever be talking about right now, especially because I want to get back across the border. No one's smuggling candy bars across the border. No
smuggling here.
No.
Not at all. Ever. No, ever. Love it.
They don't make it anyhow. Like, I just eat them before I get on the plane.
Deena, we're going to move into the last round. Now, the last round is normally, because this is series 1, Coffee with Kerry, and the last round is normally a discussion about someone's podcast. But you don't have a podcast yet. I want to preface the
operative word.
Correct. It's on the way. But you have been a guest on many people's podcasts. We've mentioned a few already. So do you have a number? Do you know how many shows you've been
You're
on?
never supposed to ask a woman her number.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what that means? It's like, what's your number? Like, how many have you been with? How many podcasts have you been on, girl? And you're like, too many, it's too many, but not enough. Like, I'm older than, sir. Oof, the number. I'm sorry, what are we talking about? What's your number? Oh, boy. I mean, I had set a goal of 2 a week in a pandemic. We're talking about podcasts, people. I've been in like isolation for 8 months and lockdown.
Correct.
If we were talking about anything else, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be out. That's right. I wouldn't be sitting here drinking alone in my apartment on a Friday night. But I'm with Kerry. No, I'm with you.
That's okay.
So what's my number podcast? I had set a goal of 2 a week, which I maintained for a while. And then, it's the summer. People are taking a break. But I'm definitely booking them. And I do. I give good podcasts.
I love that.
I give great podcasts.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Thank you.
I think I have no doubt that you would be suitable for every podcast, any show, any topic. You could speak to everything, really. Like there's
almost everything. Yeah. Almost.
Yeah. What doesn't
pretty much.
Everything fits in your world, you are just so...
I'm really tiny, but everything fits. Who knew?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. But your podcast, I know there's some thinking going on here.
There is.
Is there a little bit of a plan yet? Have we gotten that far?
We need a producer. We need someone, right. The royal we, but I'm saying it like a team because
yes.
I have quite a few ideas around this. I will not handle the back end operational, technical, production end of it. Conceptually, I understand production. And like I'm watching your show now, and even the ones I've seen before, but it's different when you're experiencing it as a guest, of how you keep it flowing and moving and the sound effects and the games. And I want to borrow certain elements of that. I love the way this really is, Kerry, like the most fun podcast. I'm like I was like, when do I get to come back? Really? Or help produce it from that end of coming up with the episode. So for mine, there will be a theme. The theme is absolutely going to be around networking and people connecting because that's my brand. That's my business. That's Fireball Network. It's all about helping people connect and getting to know them and hearing their stories. I would like to have guest co-hosts on an ongoing basis. Yes.
Love it.
Because I think that will also bring a fun and engaging and diverse element to it. I don't want it just to be about me. I obviously don't want to just be me talking by myself for 2 hours, although that's kind of me the whole pandemic, me talking to myself all day long, every day. And as you can tell, anyone who's listened to me on any podcast, she can keep talking unless you stop her. The mute button is an extrovert's best friend. Use the mute button. But so, yes, I could digress and do a lot of talking on my own, but it's really about people connecting and that kind of engagement and to give other people a showcase and a platform for what they do. And maybe I'm just kind of thinking about this out loud. Maybe it's a way to help train people to speak more comfortably and include humor and give them the chance to practice, because networking is about making conversation and getting to know people. And when we talk about elevator pitches and like pitching yourself, it shouldn't be all uptight and formal. It should just be having conversation. Tell me about yourself. Yes. So maybe my show will give people a chance to practice their skills. Because also the performer in me is like, let's workshop it, like improv or stand-up comedy. You get to work out a bit. Maybe there's feedback. I mean, I'm open to all kinds of ideas. I do need a producer. The co-hosts, we have so many people in our community and in my entire network that I'm sure would love to be co-hosts and guests as well. You are absolutely at the top of my list, my dear. Like you are 1,000%. But I do have very specific ideas, and I would like to, as long as I can do it as a team effort and not on my own, then I will absolutely I'm an extrovert and I'm a collaborator. And that's the thing with not just Clubhouse, but Instagram and LinkedIn and all the organizations that I'm a member of, because I'm a member of, I'm an association junkie. Like I'm a networking addict and an associate, but it's how you meet people and make friends and build those business and personal relationships. So right now we're doing it online, but all the people I've met in real life, and that's the fun part, is getting to do all these cool things and with other people and to bring our different strengths together.
Definitely.
To create a musical about podcasting.
There you go. Podcast the musical.
Cool.
That's
we could do that
with Fireball Deena. Fireball Deena, the podcast the musical. Yep. I love it.
A musical variety show.
Yep. Love it.
Okay. Gene Kelly will be there.
Yes, definitely. Oh my God, this will be so fantastic. I can't wait to see you dive into the finer details. We need to get you that producer. We need to start moving this forward for you. So, you've got my support and the support of the whole RTP community. So if you need anything at all, you reach out to any of us. We are here to help you 100%. So
I think we'll just have to have like a group text or a group Instagram message, or like, just because we did put a call out in a couple of the rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, let's figure out how to actually get that, make it happen. Because I know we complement each other well. I come up with ideas, I kick them off. I love to take action and take initiative. Then when it gets to the operational and the implementation, at a certain point, not my skill set anymore. And thank you, ADHD. Everything I know. Thank you, ADHD.
Yes.
Well, I just found out I had it. Like now I know. How did I do? People are like, how did you know? I'm like, how did you not know? How come nobody told me all these years? It's so obvious. It explains, and they're like, well, that explains a lot. I'm like, you think? But also it's like, now I'm going back in my head. I'm like, didn't you know? Didn't you know? I thought we told you. I thought you told us. Wait a minute. Nobody told her? It's like my brain forgot to tell me. Like, didn't you get the memo, bitch?
No memo.
Like 52 years ago. The first thing I did was call my mother. I was like, first of all, I'm fine. Because when you call your mother, you always want to preface it with, oh, everything's fine. Even when it's not. You especially like, everything's fine. I just had a question for you. I was like, and it's not a criticism. Not attacking you. I was like, a genuine question. Did it ever occur to you? Or did I say, how did it not occur to you? That would be a little bit critical. How did it not occur to you? I have ADHD. She's like, but you were so good in school. With your mother.
Well, Deena, I am so sorry, but... Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. I always press the wrong button.
This is for you, Kerry.
Wait. Let me stop. Start again. Okay. Deena? Oh, you rock. Oh, my God.
You, Kerry. You rock.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's super cute. What a great cup.
You do. With the little...
Yeah.
I don't know where to put it. So I just, it's like, don't give me a prop because I'll just keep going on. If I had two of these, pasties. And actually, it's like just the right size.
Oh, my God. You're so fabulous. And honestly, I just want to, first of all, thank you for coming onto the show, and I just appreciate you so much. We've had an absolute blast, as I fully expected we would. So we do have to wrap it up, and we do have to play a little bit of music that we can dance out to. And thank you again. I just appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Kerry.
No. Let's play.
So glad we did this on a Friday.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Kerry. You can catch us weekly, and I'd love to receive your rating or personal review. See you next week.